Presenting on IO 519, Statistics. Dr. Miller is the professor. January 24th, 2016. We are going to be discussing terminology in statistics and defining assigned terms. The first term is sampling distribution, which is, by definition, is a distribution of a sample statistic. The sample distribution is the distribution that results from the collection of actual data. A major characteristic of a sample is that it contains a finite or a countable number of scores or values. The number of scores, well, it doesn't even have to be values. It can be labels. It can be an accumulation of a population, but a number of scores. And that number of scores is typically represented by the number n. We use a italicized number n as to denote a sample distribution. Next item to discuss is standard error. The standard error, or SE, is the standard deviation of the sampling distribution of a statistic. It's most commonly known as the mean. The term may also be used to refer to an estimate that of a standard deviation that's derived from a particular sample used to compute an estimate. But the standard deviation or the standard deviation derived from a particular sample used to compute the estimate is commonly called the standard error or the standard deviation. Fisher's p-value. Fisher's method combines extreme value from probabilities from each test, commonly known as p-values, into one test of statistics, which would be x squared, or p-values, also t-test, meaning that you have two sets of values using the formula x squared, where p is the p-value for the null hypothesis. When the p-values tend to be small, the test statistic, or x squared, will be large, which suggests that the null hypothesis are not true for every test. Type 1 and Type 2 error. In statistical hypothesis testing, a Type 1 error is the incorrect rejection of a true null hypothesis, a false positive. While a Type 2 error is the failure to reject a false null hypothesis, which is commonly also called a false negative. Statistical power. Simply stated, statistical power is the likelihood that a study will detect an effect when there is an effect there to be detected. If a statistical power is high, the probability of making a Type 2 error or concluding there is no effect when in fact there is an effect goes down. That concludes the description of the assignment for IO 519, January 24th.